attention to these things. Again, worst first, focusing on that. So we should be able to get that resolved. It's some things that happen around, and we need as many people from neighborhoods to let us know. Just contact. We have really good involvement at the neighborhood association from all of the PBSO contacts, liaisons. So that's the best place to start. And don't be afraid to call on the non-emergency number whenever you think something's suspicious or needs some attention. Okay. And then as I went over to the golf course clubhouse, this is a while back now, a little bit of work can be done to allow folks to come in, golfers to come in and maneuver around the main dining area. We can keep that closed off so the event can happen and golfing can happen and things. So it's not a big deal to make that adjustment. It's a really great place to have an event. And I know there's a lot trying to improve over there. So I think there's, again, a lot happening and a lot of improvement, obviously, from what you read there too about PGA. So that was really good. Some of the instance, Mr. Tim, about backing into the parking spaces, I think comes from the fact that the distance from the front of your car, they have car bumpers. So if you back in and you keep backing up, the distance from your wheel to the back bumper is much greater than front, and you could hit some of the things and signs and whatever. So some of that's related to that distance as well. I agree, though, it's easier to get out when you can see because it's two-way traffic down there, so you have those options. But that's kind of the reason why in most places they don't let you really back in to parking spaces. So that's, and I appreciate all the other comments there. And anytime people need to get a hold of us, I'm sure we will do our best to get back to you if it's okay at any time. As long as you indicate that it's okay to call you back late in the evening, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Thanks.
Commissioner McBoy.
Yeah, I too had wondered with Mr. Tim about why we objected to people backing in, and maybe PBSO or people who know about these things can tell me, but it always seemed to me strange that we don't let people back in. And if it was related to the angle, that we're not doing the angle, then maybe we should reconsider that. Just to follow up on the update from Tallahassee, I thought that that public comment bill that they passed up there, maybe we ought to, it's kind of a toss-up, should we name it the Peter Tim bill or the Short bill?
Vice Mayor.
Well, just, I'll get in the backing of the parking. Mr. Tim, I suspect, I can't speak obviously from experience, but I'm guessing the PBSO backs their vehicles in there, so if they've got to leave in a hurry, they can leave in a hurry. I'm quite sure that's probably why they do that. Just thought I'd throw that out there. So now can we sing happy birthday?
What about me? I don't get to go.
Well, after you're done.
Okay. No, you guys addressed pretty much all the questions. Mr. McGann, when you mentioned too about the school area, that was one of the areas a year ago now, before we started this whole master plan process, that I took pictures of and photographed and everything, and it was, a lack of sidewalks, or the kids in the middle of the road coming up school. I mean, it's an issue there, and it's all been factored into this new master plan for our roadways and the school areas. Children, areas where their families and children and school areas are the first to be addressed by this plan because of public safety reasons. So I'm excited about these things getting underway in that neighborhood too, just so that you know, because I don't see here all the time, we have the 10th Avenue South project is going to be starting very soon, the paving of 10th Avenue South from A Street to the tracks. And then also we just were the recipient of a $750,000 grant for a greenway on 5th Avenue South. It's going to connect the whole thing with walkways, lighting, paving, for biking and walking. So I'm very, very aware of the neglect in that part of the community, and everyone's probably sick and tired of hearing it from me, but we are addressing it, so just to let you know. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes?
quickly, can we hear from our attorney? I know that you had just looked at something as far as the parking, backing into parking at the beach, because there was a question whether they could be ticketed or not, and I understand they now can ticket it because it came from your office. Were you working on that, or was it the other?
So someone else, I'm not familiar with that.
because there was
Okay,
some,
I'd let you know.
okay, because there were some issues with that, whether they could actually legally be ticketed or not, and I guess,
Let me chat with Captain Silver and I'll let you know by the timing of my comments.
Okay, excellent. Okey dokey. Approval of the minutes, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.